What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology retold action in the left-hand corner of the map, playing as the Blue Loki. His name is Gabu. He's one of my favorite players to watch at the moment. Very, very exciting player. I'm very interested to see how this game is going to go on the other side of the map. It is everyone's favorite Uranos player to hate, Miku Nakano. Also known as Jack. Jack 90. Jack 90, the Uranos man. So let's see how he's going to go. So this is an interesting matchup because I think there is a little bit of a narrative to some degree being pushed that, you know, Atlanteans not the strongest at the moment, especially against Norse. I know that whenever I play against a certain other top player, let's not drop names, I play random and I often roll, for whatever reason, I roll Norse against him. And he'll always complain when he goes Atlantean, I get Norse. And I must say, I've had a lot of success playing Norse against Uranos. If there is one Uranos player out there who gives everyone a run for their money, it is Jack 90. So checking this game out, seeing what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting. We do already see that Jack is popping over onto this gold mine with 2 citizens already. He's taking villages off of wood. Dropped himself a little bit here and then says 172 is enough. Let's get our wood, our gold in and drop a temple. He's going to be advancing very, very quick. It looks like to me at the very least. Anyways, relics over here. We've got the Kopesh of Horus. Going to be boosting up that hero damage versus myth units. Over here we've got the blue crystal shard. Increasing gather rates. And on the bottom side, we've got Demeter's Throne. And finally, down to the bottom side of the map, there is Pelt of Arcus, which is unit line of sight +6. As at the moment, no wood for another citizen, but an advance time will be coming in. It looks like it's just that tiny bit inefficient, but nonetheless, he will be able to advance here. And he is going to be going through Oceanus. Following on with this one here, Gabu going to be dropping the temple in his main base. There is no need to go super crazy versus Uranos early on. So a slow advance is totally fine here. One idea could be to get a quick advance in and be hunting oracles the entire time. And you could see how that's all going to go as Gabu going to be finishing up the temple, and we'll see what's going to happen here. There's a couple of pigs getting found, and we do see that Miku Nakano, Jack, so I don't know what to call him. Jack does pick up the blue crystal shard here. This one's so good for Uranos because this is the amount of eco that I think makes Atlantean really, really good. Like decent, like super playable. Why? Because you're going to get 5% boosted economy here. 5% boosted gold, 5% boosted wood. And that's going to allow you to have just that tiny little bit more economy that can allow you to feel like you can compete in a game. This is what always seems to happen to me at the very least when I'm playing Atlantean nowadays. Is that I just feel like I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball on most situations unless I get some decent damage done early on. But nonetheless, the Momilo is going to be coming through. Francisco, I'm streaming on both platforms. So yeah, that's what we're doing at the moment. We're in a bit of a trial run to see if this is worth doing or not. I really don't know. I might go back to just Twitch and see what happens or move just over onto YouTube. I don't know. Anyways, Oracle popping back into the main base as Miku Nakano searching around here, going to be looking to try and find where that Herso went. And Gabu is literally searching for oracles, and he will find one over here. He's popping over here to grab a relic. He finds a Murmillo over here, as this oracle will be going down onto the left-hand corner. And Gabu says, all right, let's drop Spy and try and get out of here. This is going to probably be a dead Herso. He's pretty slow at the moment with no Hall of Thanes in. He's got the favor for it, and the wood now comes through. Once he gets that in, the Herso will actually be able to get out of here, but it takes a long time. But in saying that, he did manage to pick off the Oracle. There is Pelt of Argus here. Is he going to be able to get out of here is the big question. Very, very close. More Hersa coming up here in an attempt to save this loner Hersa. 5 HP remaining, and it does end up falling there. As the Murmillos will need to pull back into the main base here. Miku, Jack has grabbed an extra Oracle after losing that first one, so he's still going to have a decent amount of favor income. He's also going to be pumping out those Caladrias and making things happen here. So that troll almost goes down, but with the help of a healing spring, he can heal himself back up. We're also seeing some cheeky little wall segments coming down here from Gabu. Yeah, we haven't seen this in quite a while. We have not seen this type of a defense in quite a while, as the Hersa are going to come over here, quickly clean up the Carnivora here. Over onto this side, have to be careful not to lose any units, just pulling back underneath the healing spring. It should be completely fine. As another option here is to use the troll to get a little bit of damage done onto the Caladria there. So at the very least, they will have to run away instead of healing the entire time. And he does decide to do that, and there goes the Caladria to start moving. But you have to do it during the fight. But nonetheless, healing springs in. No real damage lost here. In fact, this is all bonus for Gabu because he's got Loki, and that's favoring his back pocket. As long as he doesn't lose any units, it's totally fine. Can you manually aim where the boulder will fall? Yes, you can manually aim where the boulder will fall. I don't recommend it. Much better to just right-click onto a unit. But yeah, you can manually aim it. I think you just click Q and there you go. So you just click Q on it and make it happen. Alrighty. Murmillos all pulling back. As the Hyperion is pre-queued. Murmillo versus Hersa is a bit of an interesting option here from Gabu. Generally speaking, you want to get out at least a couple of thrown axemen, just on the fact that Hersa do in fact lose in a straight up fight versus like the generalist infantry units. So hoplites, Murmillo, Dow swordsmen, spearmen, and I guess berserks. But he's still going Hersa. He's going to be searching around for some villagers to kill. There is going to be all of these citizens in the center of the map. They're very, very safe. There is a cheeky little watchtower looking like it's going to be meeting its demise here as Gabu does not get that safety onto that one. This Hersa kind of getting out of position here, but does manage to pull that one back. Almost sniping a cheeky little Murmillo here as another troll to come through, but tower down as the Hersa get in, and he does spot those villagers there, but with a shockwave trying to get out, he does manage to get into the tower there. As Gabu searching for the Oracle, can he get in front of it? As he does not manage to do so into the manor, as both players are getting very close to losing villagers, oracles, and the like, as this citizen gets a couple of shanks off before pulling back. The top here with the Economic Guild almost going down. Up onto this side, the Murmillos pulling back as well. And it looks to me like Gabu is barely just going to get out of here with his life there. Yeah, it did manage to cause a lot of idle time onto those citizens. And Gabu, simply put, just going to pull up, get out of this position, get back home. Yes, these are 5.3 Murmillo heroes, but 5.3 speed Hersa should be more than enough here to just get away. Or at least attempt to get away. I don't think the Caladria can even pacify these. No, they cannot pacify because you can't pacify heroes. You can only pacify myth units and military units, or like human units. There's another pack of Hersa going to be moving out, and Gabu is on his way right now. He is doing his Gabuian strategy, which is to spam Hersa and never stop spamming Hersa because he likes them. And he's like, let me get some raids in. Because he does have an opportunity to potentially come and raid this citizen. If Jack misses this, he might lose it, but good awareness there. Drops into the manor as the Hersa are going to start getting a little bit of damage done. That's the hero Murmillos going to be coming through as a bit of a response here. And Gabu now says, all right, time to retreat. He's almost lost this Hersa, but you know, 60 HP remaining, 56 HP remaining. Should be able to get out of there, no problems. But still, The problem for Gabu is he is almost out of gold, and he has no serious answer to Mamilos just yet. He's finally starting to build some throwing axemen, but we'll see if that's going to be enough or not. There's another pack of Herso to start coming out. Caladria does spot that there, as the Mamilos, instead of trying to cut the Herso off, need to get pulled back over here to defend. Miku Nakano does manage to pull into the Sky Passage for the time being here. And the game continues along. As there's a lot of food and gold in the bank for Gabu. He can advance here. Does he have his armory? Does not have his armory just yet. I'm not sure why or what he's waiting around for. He clearly wants to go there. The question is, do you go for a... Citizen down? Tango down. Do you go for a flaming weapons, a Bragi? This Herso will fall over here. Do you go for a Bragi, or do you go for the safer Njord? The reason why I call it safer Njord is because Hyperion is always going to be a threat. And if you go for flaming weapons and then you get hit with chaos, you're going to be hurting yourself even more. So it's just like an amplification of your opponent's god power. Whereas if you go Njord and get chaos, then you still have got those walking woods to start being a threat and all the other good stuff. But nonetheless, gold mine has finished for Gabu. He's going to be sitting in his main base for a little bit, chopping down wood and trying to get himself all set up on the top here. He does have a military advantage for the time being, as more Murmillos are getting converted here. The Caladrias need to get in and heal everything up, make sure that they're all nice and healthy. Over onto this side, they're also getting caught out as those Murmillo heroes getting some good damage done. But again, if he's not careful, he oh, get out of here. No, fight. The Murmillos are too strong. Murmillo heroes do manage to stop the raiding Herso of Gabu. Get one pick and then the Herso are out of there. Every little bit matters, but over onto this side, the Sky Passage almost going down. Gabu sticking out onto this spot saying, let me just kill it and then run. But little does he know, Jack is just going to simply go, let me just build that Sky Passage back up. No problems. And we'll just continue along. It's my favorite Civ on this patch. I don't really have a favorite Civ. Whatever Civ is fun. It's always more about matchups, I guess. Whatever matchup is fun to play from both sides. That's what I enjoy. For example, Uranus versus Loki. This is seeming very, very fun right now. All right. He'll fought up. A couple of longhouses coming down as well as the trolls pulling back. And Gabu will secure his large gold mine now. And is he pumping units? That's the question. Looks like the answer is no. We see Heroic Renewal out really, really quickly, which is meaning that these Murmillo will go, all these Murmillo heroes are going to go all the way back up to full HP. As the mana over here for Miku Nakano going to be going down as well. Ursa streaming in over onto this position before pulling back. And there's that heavy Murmillos through as well, as Gabu says, all right, time to get some upgrades. He can sit underneath this hill fort for a little bit. It's a big amount of defense for him at the moment. As a lull before the storm here, as the Palace for Miku Nakano are going to be coming through. Another slight answer for Uranus, I guess, against flaming weapons is also to make sure you got that forward Sky Passage in, so that if your opponent clicks flaming weapons, you can chaos and then run through it and you can be completely fine. Is Miku Nakano a Smurf? I guess so. This is Jack's secondary account. He plays on both of these accounts quite frequently. And they're both very high rated, so I don't know if you'd call them Smurfs or not. I guess you would, but... so coming through. Murmillo popping out of the Sky Passage. Gabu, like, trying to make these little mini raids work, but this is where Uranus is, like, at his strongest, basically. As the remaining Murmillo coming through. We've got a huge amount of throwing axemen in now, but this is, again, another one of Miku Nakano's, Uranus's game plan. So you get the throwing axemen out. and then you can use chaos on top of them. I could also imagine dropping a chaos on top of the trolls as well, while they're sitting on top of the throwing axemen. Could end up with the entirety of the throwing axemen dying to big boulder throws there. As Caboose says, okay, time for a town center. I'm at 164 pop. Jack is at 147 pop. As he says, all right, let's charge forward here. Get a huge amount of damage done. Chaos is available, as that's going to get dropped down with the flaming weapons here. A gigantic blunder, you'd have to say, from Gaboo, as the shockwave onto those Urso gets dropped. The heroes can dive through onto the trolls in the back here, and Gaboo loses what looks to be an entire army. Jack Hick should be considering just retreating at the moment, and now he does decide to do so. As the town center, will it finish? Will it go down? It does end up falling there, and Jack pulls out. Flaming weapons is now down. Population is definitely favoring Gaboo at the moment. That was a perfect way to get through that flaming weapons. He probably overstayed just a little bit after picking off that first force. He had a huge advantage, but then the reinforcement throwing axeman came through and got a gigantic amount of damage back into it. But a well-played fight there nonetheless. And now Jack, Miku Nakano, is going to be searching for things to do with Mermilus. He's got the Sky Passage on the left side. He's got the Sky Passage in the middle. He's got the Sky Passage on the top. This is... And he's also got one in his main base, mind you. This is Aranos 101. This is literally... If you guys want to play Aranos at a high level, this is Aranos 101. You want to get the map control. You want to place these Sky Passages in this way. You want to put a oracle onto every one of these positions such that you see the entirety of the map, you see where your opponent's moving, and then you can start thinking about everything else. Because this is going to give you that stranglehold. Your opponent can't move. You're just going to meet them wherever they go, so which means you're going to have the advantage to some degree. There's now bronze weapons to come through for Gaboo. Hand axe also. Portable ram. Throw an axeman. Trying to get himself back up a full population comp. He does manage to get himself a very, very hefty amount of units out. He's in a good spot. And look at this from Jack. He's got 7 oracles. 7 oracles, and he has Sons of the Sun. So all of these oracles are hero oracles at the moment. So huge amounts of favor income. He's already got the favor for another... chaos. I wouldn't mind seeing some satyrs actually coming through here to deal with what's coming for him, but Gaboo says it's time to rumble as he is going to charge in to try and take out this palace. There's almost no need to actually attack this with the throw an axeman or the Urso. Just go after it with the rams. But nonetheless, it looks like the palace might be falling here. As the army teleports through the palace, there's still no chaos. Now it's up. I'm sure he's going to be dropping that one down. As there he goes, as they're throwing action to hit themselves over here. And now Gaboo gets the kill on the palace, but he loses a huge amount of units here. Carnivora also coming down. Shockwave, Chaos, Carnivora, all in the same breath here. You have to ask the question, imagine if this was 4, 5 satyrs rather than that spend of chaos, spend of carnivore and everything else. It probably would have been a different story here. Gaboo just fights his way through it. Gaboo just fights his way through it, and he's okay here. Sure, he lost a whole bunch of units, but that was 1,000 resources worth of spend there inside of that favor. On the other side here, we do see Helios as the major... or as the minor god of choice to the Mythic Age. He's pre-queued it a ways away, but he is going to be going for that angle here. We'll see if it's going to work out for him. Eyes Machine, your Athenian League game. I haven't looked at the schedule for today. Can someone send me the schedule? I can't remember where it is. Joey posted it somewhere actually. All right. Bit of a lull before the storm. It looks like, oh, it's right now. Oh. Yeah, okay. I mean, if you guys want to wait for the end of this game, I will cast it.
Go pause.
As Gaboo sneaking forward now with some more Deuterinos. The Citizen's going to be pulling back into the Sky Passage for the time being. Gaboo charging forward. Wants to take this fight here. He does have some pretty strong trolls on the back, but those Arcus are going to be really, really good as well. Meanwhile, the raiding cavalry coming through here. And it looks like Jack can't even hold this spot. He's got to pull back, but he does have the option to do so. He does have the option to do so. His army is looking a little bit worse for wear here into the main base. As Gaboo, after all is said and done, still looking like he's in a good spot. There is a slight villager advantage for Jack, for Miku Nakano, but it's not that big of a deal. It's really not that big of a deal. As the Hill Fork going to be coming through for Gaboo. As the Sky Passage is coming up to this side as Jack finishes this one through. He pops in, gets some shots in. The Arcus can get so many kills in, and then he can bail out of this Sky Passage. It's actually a really, really smart way to play because you get a huge amount of damage done. Your opponent's trying to close the gap, and generally you close the gap and then you win the fight or something. But in this case, there's this retreat angle through the Sky Passage. You can just poke, get huge damage, run, poke, get huge damage, run. It looks at the moment as well, however, that Jack has actually got himself a pretty nasty combo as he's up to 150 favor. The combo is Vortex, Chaos, Carnivora, Shockwave. Just to get gigantic damage done. But it looks like Jack here kind of getting out of position a little bit. Takes a bit of damage there unnecessarily. Retreats through the Sky Passage. Back into his main base. Pumping more units for the time being. As Gaboo, we just see a third town sort of coming up to the top here. As Gaboo slowly starting to work his way across this map to try and take this Oranos out. Look at the queue though for Gaboo. This is the problem. He's got a huge amount of resources queued up. He could be going Mythic Age right now. No problems to be doing that at the moment. But he says, let me try and target this town center down. There is a Sky Passage here. There is all of the army in the world in for Jack at the moment. He could pop up to the top here and sneak through and hit this gold mine if he knows that that's there. Let's take a quick look at the actual military building situation. Only 5 military buildings for Jack. This is something that I've noticed that I do myself a little bit too much with Atlantean. Realistically, you actually want somewhere in the vicinity of like 15 to 20 military buildings with a 100 population or 100 villager count Atlantean, because you just want to spam units out as fast as you possibly can. If you take a look at these buildings, so let's take a look at one. There's 4 units queued up. 3 units queued up. 3 units queued up. That's a huge amount of units queued up. A huge amount of unspent resources there. As Hell is coming through now for Gaboo, but I mean, there's 16 hero Arcus in. Look at the damage they've actually all managed to get. 3,530. Jack has controlled these really, really nicely. Popping through the Sky Passage for the time being is the Contarius popping back in. Going to be a bit of a meat shield for the time being as Jack comes to the front there with those Arcus, making sure he gets as much damage as he possibly can. Chaos onto that back line there, getting some huge damage as the Ironry does spawn in. Another Shockwave, 45 favor Shockwave there. Absolutely huge. And Gaboo says, all right, time to pull back out as the random raiding cavalry up to the top going to be able to finish off this Sky Passage here. But still, Jack has got map control. Jack has got 4 town centers coming in. The only problem is he doesn't have that Mythic Age at the moment. He probably could stop producing units for a little bit and go to the Mythic Age, but he's not able to advance just yet. So there is a tech advantage here for Gaboo to try and break through this. The problem for Gaboo is he has just picked a very myth unit oriented god path. He could have gone for Bravery Huskar, which make a lot of sense right now against what Jack has made. Could have gone for Bravery Huskar in tier, dropped Fimbulwinter, made this attack happen, go for a huge amount of those Huskar and deal with the Arcus. But instead, he goes for this hell angle. And I don't even think that Gaboo can even click Nidhogg at the moment. His random oracles getting sniped on the left side. Now we will see Gaboo grabbing himself another town center. He has to play a little bit more fundamentally sound here. This is the problem for Gaboo as well. He needs to actually just start locking map off. Walls coming up everywhere would be really, really useful for him. As the army pops through, and we will now see Helios on the way. And look at the resources piling in for Jack right now. Just absolutely huge. Jarl's popping in over onto this side. We'll snipe one of those there. Now the Nidhogg decides it's time to come in. He sees a couple of villagers here and says, hey, I can get some value with my Nidhogg here. And pick off 1, 2, 3. All the Arcus in the world getting converted into Arcus heroes here. And Gaboo immediately says, hang on, let me get away from those. However, what Jack's going to be able to do is utilize the Sky Passage to chase this Nidhogg around. He can go pull back over here into the Sky Passage, drop out here, and then all of a sudden the Nidhogg's just going to die. Alternatively, he can Vortex underneath the Nidhogg, and that's another way to go for it. And that's exactly what he's going to be doing here as he pops in, gets some damage done. How much is he going to be able to actually get done here? He gets about over 1,000. Oh God, I need the garrison micro there from Jack gets the Nidhogg down to 246 HP. Now, mind you, there's a lot of resources invested into these Arcus, as we do see the immediate Halo of the Sun technology coming through for Jack. And that gives these Arcus an extra 10% damage and an extra range. As we see another Chaos getting dropped down. And Gaboo might just need to pull away from this, regroup, and figure out what's going on. Meanwhile, Raid's up to the top here, taking out these villages and all the other good stuff. As the portable ram over onto this side, getting sniped. Rock Giant coming through for Gaboo. But that gets immediately sniped down from these heroes. And while it is actually still 3 town centers to 3 town centers, it's looking very, very difficult for Gaboo to actually take a fight in this game. Very, very difficult for him to actually take a fight in this game. Meanwhile, onto the top here, Jack says, I see your wood line. Let me just drop a palace here, and we'll start getting some serious damage done. As the villagers will pull back, but still, there's going to be access to fire siphons, and these fire siphons hurt. They've got Halo of the Sun. I don't think he's yet to get the upgrade for him. No siege engineers, but having that Halo of the Sun tech is already a big, big help for them. And then Jack can literally just come through this Sky Passage and look to push up here as well. Meanwhile, over onto this bottom side, Jack is already there to defend. He can see the movements perfectly, though he does charge straight in to that front line as those Troan Axemen demolish the Murmillos in the front there. And Gaboo gonna have to pull back. Meanwhile, up to the top, however, a couple of Destroyers, a couple of Contarius, looking like they will be able to finish off Gaboo's town center here. as what is Gaboo's plan? He doesn't have any gold left. All the gold mines are currently getting mined by Jack. There's literally 3 gold mines left on the map here. And it's looking now like Gaboo says, I got no gold left. Let me go for the jugular. Let me take this main base out and see what can happen. He's lost his town center. He's trying to take this position out. Where is the army? It's coming around onto the back here for the time being. Pure Arcus hero, 4.3 speed. Huge damage coming from them as well. 11.1. Look at the damage they've actually managed to do here. Nearly 17,000. Conversely, the entirety of the army of Gaboo at 5,000 here. At 5,000. 25,000 versus 4,600. This army of Jack is just absolutely dominating. What else can Gaboo do here? I mean, he's got 0 gold. I think the game is just done for him. Couple of Arcus heroes over here to snipe some villagers. He's got no gold left. He's got no hope left. He's got no answer for these Arcus. I mean, one answer for them would be, well, with the portable rams in the middle here to tank up, garrison micro through the hill fort to get on top of the Arcus. Another option would be to make Ballaster, I guess. Ballaster makes some sense. And look at these fire siphon here. Look at this damage they do. Absolutely going to carve through the hill fort on the front here. We will see a little cheeky vortex up onto this side as Jack trying to get himself back this town center. Actually, not back this town center. Take this town center from Gaboo. But Gaboo does manage to snipe all of the citizens there, so delaying it for just a little bit as the Sky Pass is going to get dropped in. So Jack can just bring in 10 citizens if he wants to, or more. There's also the Sky Patches at the top here for Jack at the moment, as he's going to just wander citizens in, grab the town center, call it a day. And Gaboo has started a trade route, but it is a sorry trade route. 36 gold a trip. People of Champion Huskar, or a Champion Huskar, are going to attempt to deny this town center for the time being, but 162 of 185, 237 population. There's a couple of portable rams going to be going down. Up onto this side. The Arcus here are slowly getting chopped down by these Huskar, but with the addition of those Contarius and the rest of those numbers, everything here falls. Popping back over onto this side as well, as the Caladri going to be getting her dancing shoes on there, but does end up falling to the hill fort. And Gaboo's valiantly fighting in this game, but it's about to be 5 town centers to 1. It's about to be 0 gold mines to about 3. And this game looks out of reach right now for Gaboo. As the full hero army coming through as well. Look at that 10.9k military resource value. Are you kidding me? That is a lot of military resource value as the Thrown Axeman going to be falling over here. And in that position, Gaboo does end up deciding to tap out. That is the game. And what a game it was, as a really well executed display of Urano's shenanigans here. I mean, we already saw, I mean, this is the final tally of this damage from this army, but I know units have died from here, but there was so much damage on those Arcus. Absolutely insane. Anyways, I say one last little check here at the stats here on the timeline. Take a look at the kill loss. 329 to 184. Insane. If you guys enjoyed the game, make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you do all the good stuff. And I will see you guys in the next game.